Hi blockchain visionaries, I'm George Levy. In this video we're going to be talking about the Bitcoin Halving. If you're not familiar with the Bitcoin Halving, it's an event that takes place every 4 years where the block reward that's given to miners is cut in half. This event's going to be happening in May of 2020, and in this video I'm going to talk to you about the halving, but beyond that I'm going to take you on a field trip to see how it plays out across multiple block explorers. It's a really intuitive lesson where you're going to learn a lot. If you're not subscribed yet, I encourage you to click the button that says subscribe and hit the bell so you're aware every time I publish these videos. I publish brand new videos every single week, so I look forward to sharing this with you. Now, in this video, we're going to kick off and let's go take a look at the halving and go on a field trip. What you are seeing right now is a countdown towards the next halving event, which is going to take place estimated on May 12, 2020. This countdown is being counted right now as of April 23rd, 2020. And as we stand right now, the reward for miners is 12.5 coins for every single block that they mine. When the halving is taking place, it will be dropped down to 6.25 coins. What that means is that if a miner was actually getting 12.5 new Bitcoins every time they mine a block, they will now be reduced to 6.25 coins for that block that they create. So right now what you're seeing is this Bitcoin block reward halving countdown, and which you can find at bitcoinblockhalf.com, and you'll find more information here. Now what I want to do though is take you beyond merely the countdown, give you a little bit of background, and let you know how you can actually analyze and see how this has played out over time. Because as of this moment, this is not the first halving that has happened. In fact, when Bitcoin began, the block reward was actually 50 Bitcoins every time a new block was created. So miners got 50 Bitcoins. That has dropped till today's rate, which is 12.5 new Bitcoins every time they create a block. So this is actually very easy to see if you go on a block explorer and you start making some looking back at history. So for example, if you look at block 0, what you will find is that on block 0, the block reward was 50 Bitcoins. If you go to today, and you find exactly, let me go to the block explorer. If you look at the block reward today, what you will find is going to drop you down to 12.5 Bitcoins. Yes? So how did we get from 50 down to 12.5? Enter the halving. So let's look at this from a different perspective, and I want to take you back historically to the previous halvings. Now, when Bitcoin began, it was 50 Bitcoins as a reward to the miners every time they created a new block. But the first halving took place at block 210,000. You see, every halving happens every 210,000 blocks. When you estimate that the average block takes about 10 minutes on average, that works out to about 4 years. So right now what you're seeing is that it is estimated that the next halving will be happening on May 12th. And the reason why you can't say with certainty that it's May 12th is because there could be some variations. Miners may be able to mine faster than 10 minutes per block. Miners may be able to mine slower than 10 minutes per block. So that's why it's a moving target. But as Bitcoin averages out by actually adjusting every 2 weeks, we estimate that this will happen on May 12th. That's why the Bitcoin block reward halving countdown, you see, keeps running. So the key things I want to point out to you is, like, let's look at history. We said right now that when you go to, let me look at this block explorer. If I look at the block explorer for Bitcoin and I look at block 0, what you will find is that, as I mentioned, you have 50 Bitcoins as a block reward. Now here's what's interesting. Let's go back to the Bitcoin block explorer and let's look at a different number. How about if I said it's 210,000 is when the halving happens? Look at what happens when I go 209,999. You will see that the Bitcoin block reward is still 50 Bitcoins. But check out what's going to happen now if instead of block number 209,999, I actually put 210,000. What you will find is that the block will be cut in half. And what that means is that the miners that took this block, they only received 25 new Bitcoins for mining that block. Now, here's a different block explorer that I really like because it gives me a different visibility. So this is called tradeblock.com/Bitcoin/Explorer. So let's look at that block number 210,000. So when I look at that block at 210,000, I see that the block reward is 25 Bitcoins. But if I go to the previous block, the block reward is 50 Bitcoins. Okay? So you want to go one further. This is what's cool. Let's go to block number 420,000, which was the next halving. The next halving brought down the block reward to 12.5 Bitcoins. But if you look at the previous block, what you have is that it was 25 Bitcoins. So you see, the block reward was 25 Bitcoins, but at block number 420,000, that was dropped to 12.5 Bitcoins. And what we are headed to right now is 210,000 Bitcoins was the first, block number 210,000 was the first halving. Block number 420,000 was the second halving. And if we look right now at the current block that we're coming up, we're at block number 627,293, which means that the next block halving will be happening at height number 630,000. That is why we're seeing this halving countdown, because we're heading over to that block number 630,000. So in a nutshell, key things that I want to point out to you is that Bitcoin has a controlled supply of Bitcoins. As it currently stands, when you mine a block, that block actually gives miners 12.5 new Bitcoins. But when we reach block number 630,000, that supply will be cut down to 6.25 Bitcoins.
I hope you enjoyed this video and that you learned something in the process. I bring you brand new videos every single week, so make sure to subscribe to this channel. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. I would love to hear from you. Until next time, I'm George Levy. We're changing the world one blockchain at a time. See you next time.